Michael Zehr here. Today's date is Friday. I should have had that handy. June 25th. Those of you that are watching live, our guest today from the Rising Eagle Studios at the Warrior Healing Center is Rick Hackney.
Good morning.
Thank you, Rick, for joining us. He's with Zehr, and we'll get into a little bit about that too. If you have any questions for myself or for Rick, please type them in the comment section, and we will try to answer them for you. So, good morning, Rick. How you doing, bud?
Good morning, Mike.
Good seeing you. Okay, I thought we would start out a little bit about what prompted you to enlist and what branch you were in, and if we could get that story, that would be really cool.
Okay, that is kind of an interesting story. I had a bad relationship with my father, so I knew I wanted to go into the service right out of high school to get away from the situation. I had initially went to enlist with the Navy, and I had talked to the recruiter, and I hadn't done anything yet. And I came back, and I saw an ad for the Coast Guard in the back of a newspaper, and I said, "Well, what's the Coast Guard?" So I went and looked it all up, went and talked to one of their recruiters, and I thought, well, these guys are out saving people instead of killing people. And that was kind of my mindset, was saving people.
That spoke to you, huh?
Yeah, it spoke to me. And I went ahead and I did the delayed enlistment 6 months before I got out of high school. So after I got out of high school, 30 days later, I went into the service. I went to the Coast Guard Training Center in Alameda, California.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because you're the first veteran I've had that has served in the United States Coast Guard. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that, like basic training. Do you do the AIT like the Army and stuff? Because I mean, it's still a military branch of the military service.
It was very interesting. We did mostly nautical kind of stuff. We learned to knot tie and the kind of stuff that they teach in basics. And I was always a lifeguard when I was in high school, so they decided I needed to be a lifeguard while I was in the Coast Guard also. So I went through the lifeguard training school while I was in the boot camp. And when I got to my first station, it was an 82-foot patrol boat in Crescent City, California, was taking the place of the boat that was there.
Okay.
So they flew me up there on a helicopter to drop me in the water. So I get my first experience jumping out of a helicopter. And that was my first duty station, was an 82-footer out of Crescent City, California.
So your actual duty station was where you were assigned to a ship then, right? Not yeah. To an actual base?
Well, I was yeah. The ship was actually stationed out of Treasure Island in the bay there. That was the base we were out of. But the boat, when I went to it, it was replacing another boat that was in dry dock in Crescent City. So that's why I got dropped out of a helicopter there. So
I just want to understand now. So when you enlisted then, did you have a choice of what you wanted to do, or they kind of said, this is what you're going to do?
No, they had several different possibilities you could do. I was also an MK, I was an engine mechanic. That was my MOS. And but the rescue swimmer thing happened when it happened. When I got on the boat, they the next morning they were all at the bar that night, so they got me good and drunk because I was a new guy. And the next morning, the chief comes over and he says, "Here, try this wetsuit on." I'm all, okay, I get in a wetsuit. He says, "So you're a rescue swimmer, right?" I said, "I think so." And he grabbed me by the ass and elbows and threw me off the boat.
Wow.
And he said, "Okay, we're going to see how you can swim." So that was my indoctrination into becoming a swimmer.
So how long were you in the Coast Guard for? How many years?
4 years.
For 4 years?
Actually, 6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
And other than that duty station or ship, did you get transferred to any others, or were you on that one the whole time for your career?
No, I was actually stationed at Yerba Buena Island for a while as a boat mechanic in the small boats. And then after that, I went to an 80 icebreaker called the Midget, 378-foot icebreaker, and did an Alpat to Alaska.
Okay.
And that's not fun duty.
No?
Cracking ice is not fun.
No?
Especially when you sleep in the front of the boat where it's cracking the ice. It's very noisy, the ice scraping against the hull and stuff like that. But it was a great job. And getting to Alaska wasn't great, but once we got there, it was amazing.
Well, I was going to ask you, too, if you were working down in the engine room, then you must have had a lot of loud noise and stuff that you were dealing with down there too, right?
Yeah, we were supposed to wear hearing protection, but back in
Supposed
them
to,
days,
right?
well, we did. We had
Oh, okay.
earmuffs, but they were pretty much useless. But we had to wear them anyway. And there was very much loud noises down there, and it was always 130 degrees down there.
Okay.
So we couldn't stay down there very long while we were underway.
All right. Mary asked, "What is this?" This is from the Warrior Healing Center here in Sierra Vista, and every Friday I interview veterans that in our community. If you have any other questions, please type it there in the comments, and I will be glad to try and answer it for you. So, working on engines, when you did that, were you trained to where you could do like the different ships? They have different engines, but you could still work on them, or did you have to get trained for each one? How did that work?
The 82-foot patrol boat had two V12 Cummins motors in it, and each cylinder that head covered 3 cylinders. So we learned to work on those, and we had to change the cams. We did updates and stuff like that on there. It was kind of a learn as you go kind of thing. I was a mechanic right out of high school. I took auto mechanics for 3 years when I was in high school.
Oh, okay. So you had an idea what you were doing, right?
Yeah, but it was a whole lot different than working on car engines, though. The engine was the size of a car in that boat. And then on the other one, on the 378, it had two 12-cylinder Pratt & Whitney giant motors in it, and also had 2 jet turbines in it.
Okay.
And when it was, we called it up on full birds, when it was on full power of the turbines, that's when they used for cracking the ice. It needed that much thrust to actually break through thick ice.
Wow. Wow, that's.
It had a unique system on it, too. It carried a lot of water in the back or in the front. It could transfer it from the front to the back. So
what would the purpose of that be?
If the ice was too thick, they would transfer the water to the back of the boat and then make a run at the ice, get the boat up on top of the ice, and then transfer the water to the front, and it would crack the ice.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it was kind of a neat experience.
And that was in Alaska, right?
Yeah.
When you were up there?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So,
there goes that darn it. I was trying to not do those ums.
Mm-hmm.
What rank were you when you finished your career? What was your rank?
I was an E4.
E4?
Yeah.
And I think I may not have asked this, so if I did, forgive me again, please. But what year did you go in?
I went in 74, and I got out in 1980.
Okay.
And part of my experience was why I got out was it was right at the tail end of Vietnam, and we didn't go.
Okay.
We stayed stateside. And when all the guys started coming back from over there, they wanted nothing to do with us that hadn't been there. And they made us kind of miserable. Yeah. And, well, you don't hear a lot about that, but it was kind of like the same thing. We were more than accepting of them coming back and supportive of them, but their attitude was like, you weren't there, you don't get it.
Right.
And I probably didn't get it, but I was more than supportive of them. I tried to get there as quick as I could. I joined right out of high school. It wasn't like I didn't make the effort, but they didn't want to hear that. So after that of 1980, I got out because of that.
Yeah, I think our Vietnam veterans really got the shaft,
Oh,
yeah, because now our veterans, not veterans, but our military is celebrated, and
right.
They go up, thank you for your service. I see active duty people when I go to the commissary, and I will go up and say, thank you for your service.
Welcome home, brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Vietnam veterans didn't get that.
No, they didn't.
And I don't know about the Korean War vets. They may not have gotten it either. I'd really like to sit down and talk with them, too.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Get one of them. But it was amazing. Some of the rescues I did, Coast Guard got sued over one of the rescues I did. We were out in 20-foot seas, and the guy had capsized their boat. It was him and his wife and another lady down there, and I got 2 of them out of the water. They had a harness that went around me, and it was attached to a winch cable. So when I got a hold of somebody, I didn't have to swim with them. They'd hit the winch and pull us back to the boat. Well, the guy's wife was probably 300 pounds plus, and every time I would approach her, she'd freak out and try to climb on top of me. And
wow.
I was already taking 2 people back to the boat, so I was pretty well exhausted. And after I approached her the 3rd time, she tried to climb on top of me. I just had to make a life or death decision. So when I came down off of the next wave, I put my fist out, and I hit her in the jaw and knocked her out. I didn't want to hit her as hard as I did, but when you're riding a 20-foot wave, you do what you can. I got a hold of her, got her off the boat. Well, they sued the Coast Guard for me hitting her. They lost in court, but it was pretty agonizing till I found out what happened. I thought I was going to get kicked out of the Coast Guard and everything for doing it, but
And no
it turned
thank
out
you for
okay.
saving my life either, huh?
No, no,
Yeah.
no. I think the guy was pretty much okay with it, but his wife wasn't, so he had to go with the flow. So
Now, also in the Coast Guard, you're not just out there saving, rescuing, doing your duty for military people. You're out there for
anybody,
civilians, people that are like coming in, even the people that came in like from Cuba. I know that was like way back
oh
in the
yeah,
day, but I'm just using that as an example. Would get on these boats and come in, and then they would get in trouble, and they need to be rescued. And here would come the Coast Guard.
yep. Coast Guard is the ocean-going version of AAA. We go out there and just take care of
Yeah.
anybody that needs help. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about what brought you to Fort Huachuca.
Okay, well, when I got out of the service, I went back to Tucson. I was from Tucson, and the whole reason I went into an ocean-going service was I wanted to see what something besides the desert was like. Then I found out there's things in the ocean that can eat you, so I decided to come back to Arizona. So we had a couple of experiences with sharks when I was out.
I was going to
there and
ask you
stuff
about
like
that. Yeah.
They had a boatswain's mate would stand on the top of the boat and with a 30-06, and I had 2 canisters of shark repellent that I always wore on the outfit. And if I hear him start shooting, I was supposed to pop the shark repellent real quick, and then they'd hit the button and pull me back to the boat.
Oh,
And
wow.
I actually had one swim within about 10 feet of me, and I was moving, so I was going away from him. So if I had been sitting still, I probably would have been bait.
What do you have to do if you have to do like a deep, I don't know if this is what it's called, like a deep sea rescue, or the Coast Guard doesn't do that?
I think they probably would bring in the Navy with something
The
that was
Navy?
capable of going
Okay.
underwater like that. Coast Guard doesn't really have any submarine type stuff. We had a lot of fast stuff to go on top of the water.
Right.
We actually had hovercrafts and stuff like that were quick pursuit. When I was stationed in San Francisco in the harbor there, we had a guy jumped off the Bay Bridge. And
What?
yeah,
Really?
yes. And we had a 3-engine, 22-foot Boston whaler, had 3 100-horse Mercuries on the back, and that thing would haul butt. We used to ski behind it when we had it free time. But we took it out there, and we were on the way to where the guy was supposed to jump at, and we actually saw him jump. And when he hit the water, he bounced off of the water. That's how hard he hit. And
Wow.
so, yeah, we do.
Did he survive?
No.
No?
No, yeah, every bone in his body was broke.
Wow.
So, and yeah, and I had to get in the water with the Stokes litter, of course, and help get him out of the water. And that was pretty traumatic.
And see, that's one thing I love about the Warrior Healing Center that really got me involved is preventing veteran suicide. Now, I don't know if that guy that jumped off the bridge that is deceased, I don't know if he was a veteran.
No.
But, you know, we need to try and prevent these military suicides.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a good program here, that 22 a day,
Right.
that I try to help out with them here. And they do a lot of great things here, and so does your organization. And I want to get into that just in a minute here. So my next question would be, you're at Fort Huachuca. What did you do after you were here?
Okay, back to how I got here. We came
Right.
back to Tucson, and I didn't like. I had 2 kids then, and I didn't like the way Tucson was. It was, a bad place to raise kids. I saw an ad for a place for rent down here on the other side of Sierra Vista, and we went down to look at it. It was a 3-bedroom trailer with a 2-stall garage. Being
Okay.
a mechanic, that was attractive to me. I was paying $700 a month for a 1-bedroom place in Tucson.
In Tucson, you're right.
Came down here, $258 a month got me
Wow.
a 3-bedroom trailer with the garage on it.
Wow.
So that's why we moved here, and I've pretty much been here ever since. I've lived in the Whetstone area mostly since 1984, off and on. I moved to Bisbee for a couple of years, then to Wilcox for a couple of years, and evolved back to here. This is where I like being.
Now, before you started Sahara, what were you doing in the meantime that led up to that?
I actually had a couple of different garages. I had the garage in Huachuca City where Gardner's is now. I had that for about 6 years. And after that, I had a shop out in Whetstone. We did off-road racing stuff and regular car repairs. And then I eventually ended up with 2 tow trucks, and we started doing scrap metal on top of all that other stuff. So until 2016, I had a shop doing all of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
And then in 2016, I decided to retire, and we were working with a band of people called We had a base behind Walmart called Delta Base. It was Veterans on Patrol.
Okay.
And we had set up a base back behind Walmart to bring veterans out of the desert back there. And the city of Sierra Vista didn't like us being there doing that. They said we were encouraging them to stay the way they were and not making a lot of progress. So they made us move from behind Walmart. We moved over to behind Lolly's, and Lolly was all on board with it. And the city told him they were going to take away some of his incentives for his dealerships if they didn't make us move again. So Barry, that owns Sierra Cycles, donated us a piece of property over by the college. We had it cleared. We had porta potties. We had infrastructure. We had everything going on. The county and the city both came to us and said, there's no need for this here. You cannot do this. Do not continue to try. Leave. And that's how we left that. Shortly after that, we tore everything down, gave all the stuff away to whoever needed it. They still had a big unit like that going in Tucson. We took a lot of it back to the Tucson unit. And then we had the Hurricane Harvey thing. So we decided to jump together, and we all went down to Hurricane Harvey. We decided that was too much work to go all over the country doing it at our age and sleeping in the parking lot malls and stuff.
Right.
So we came back here and decided we should make a difference where we live. And we started Zehr, Southern Arizona Humanitarian Aid Resource Alliance, out of our house.
What year did you start that?
2017.
2017,
Yeah.
okay.
And we started it out of our house. Initially, it was just a small food pantry kind of thing we were doing. And we had a big fire out there. People lost their house. So we put a call out for some goods for them to replace their stuff. And the stuff came avalanching in. We have a 4-bedroom trailer with 20-foot wide awnings all the way down both sides. And in less than a year, it looked like a hoarder's house. But it was all good stuff
Right.
that had been donated. But it was all sitting outside under our patios and stuff, and the whole inside of the house was full of stuff. We had a trail going from.
That's amazing. That got
Yeah.
that much stuff.
It was. This
Yeah.
This community has always been amazing.
They have.
We worked during the big fires that came over the mountains here and stuff, and
Right.
it was amazing. The people here just turn out great. So we decided we couldn't do it at our house because the stuff was getting dusty and rained on and whatever. So it was just ruining a lot of the stuff. So we found the old furniture store across from Sonny's in Huachuca City. I struck a deal with the guy that owns it, and we moved in there, and we've got the building next to it is our food pantry.
Okay.
So, and it's been amazing since we moved in there. We moved in there in July a year ago, and we got to open the doors in August. We had to do some modifications to the building, wheelchair ramps, etc. And we got to open the doors in August. For the first 2 months there, we paid the rent out of our pockets, and we're both on fixed income, so that was
Correct.
tough.
Right.
Then we decided after the second month we were there to have a big parking lot sale. And we made $2,000 in 2 days in the parking lot sale.
Wow, that's great.
Since then,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Since then, the place has been carrying itself. We have became a registered charity and also a 501c3.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. I can't remember those numbers because there's so many in there. But
Yeah, no, 501c3 is a charity registered with the state. We can also give people tax write-offs for large donations.
Right.
And we get lots of help from the Legacy Foundation, and these guys here help us out a lot. We all work together, and it's just been amazing. We got a first grant from Legacy was for $5,000 to do one of our Christmas projects we did. We handed out 150 Christmas dinners and toys for the kids and dressed up like Santa Claus and had them all come and do a thing. And then we got another grant from the electric company to help with our Easter thing we did. Electric company is a good unit too. They've been very
Sulphur
nice.
Springs,
Sulphur
yay,
Springs,
thank
you
you.
bet. Them guys are awesome. They gave us a $1,000 community service grant, and we used that to put it back to the community. And then
and you're not helping just veterans, right? You're helping anybody that needs assistance.
Anybody that needs it. We don't care
Right.
what color they are, what their religion is,
Yep.
who they like to be with. We don't care about any of that.
And all that stuff is set aside.
Yeah.
They're there to just
There's no
assist.
politics involved.
Right.
We just there to help.
Which is what I love about our community, because we've got Sahara here, we've got Sierra Vista Gives, we've got the Warrior Healing Center. There's just so many other organizations, Cochise Serving Veterans, I believe.
Yep.
And all of these groups, they're out here helping veterans because they
Right.
care about our community.
Absolutely.
And
we have a very large veteran community here.
we do. And we need to take care of our veterans.
Yes.
That's why I kind of like to, there's that again. That's why I like to encourage people, if they can, to donate to the Warrior Healing Center
Absolutely.
or to Sahara or to any of these other groups in our local community, because that money stays here and helps people locally. It doesn't help.
Absolutely.
It doesn't go up to, like, if you give to the Red Cross, they're going to charge administration fees. They're a great organization, don't get me wrong, but they're going to charge you for, and 100% of that money doesn't go where you want it to go.
We actually have the Red Cross call us out when we get to emergency situation like a fire or something like that.
Right.
The Red Cross's hands are pretty much tied. They get to go in there, give the people some money, buy them a couple days in a motel, and they got to back out. So they send them to us where we can take care of the rest of the stuff. We give them food and clothing and furniture and whatever else they need like that. We do vouchers at our place for people that can't afford the stuff.
Now, please understand that, because I had a loss, so I know what it's like, and it is really hard to ask for help.
Oh,
it
absolutely.
is. It's so hard to ask for help. But Sahara makes it easy because of that. They just, they're there to help.
We don't take no for an answer. We go to the scenes and stuff like that. We find the victims and we'll sit with them and get them through their crisis and take care of them even afterwards. We had another fire out on the south side of Sierra Vista. People lost their whole trailer, 3 cars, 2 dogs, and everything they owned.
Was that the one out by Uptown 3?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had another old trailer down in Huachuca City that they had bought for their daughter that they were fixing up, and it was in really bad shape. They decided they were going to, instead of staying in a motel or whatever, they were going to go habitat that place. The windows,
is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah, the windows are not existent in the place. It had no cooling. The plumbing was shot. There was no water heater. Larry from the Vietnam Veterans Association has donated many hours to going over there and fixing the plumbing on this place. Home Depot.
Thank you, Larry.
Yes, Larry. And their whole organization.
And the whole organization.
Yes,
Thank you, yes.
Yes, which I am a member of now. So,
and Home Depot donated,
the water heater and all the fittings.
Thank you, Home Depot, for that, too.
And this is the second time Home Depot's done that for us. And they've also helped us around our shop when we need stuff. They donate stuff for us, too. We are working on getting them situated over there. They had no stove or nothing. We had a stove at our place. We went over and had a buddy of ours that's an electrician, wired it up, took the gas out for the water heater and the stove, and we put in electric so they don't have to worry about a gas system in there anymore. To the Mormon boys from the Mormon facility here, I've been going over there and helping quite regularly. Thank you to them, too. Yes.
Good job, guys.
They are a great organization. They turn
guys and gals, I'm sorry.
These ones were guys, but yeah, they have both. They have been amazing helping us. They've come up to the store and helped us organize there and stuff too. That's our biggest shortfall right now is we need volunteers. I need to be out doing stuff like this. Right. And while I'm doing this, there's nobody tending the food bank. My wife and one person's running the whole place.
And how about some contact information, Rick? Could we get that from you?
Sure. Our contact numbers are 520-331-2883. That's my wife's number. And 520-331-3830 is mine. The address over there is 425 Huachuca Boulevard, Huachuca City. We're right across the street from Sunny D's restaurant.
Now, what I will do is after the interview is done here, I go into the comments and I will try and type in all the pertinent information, like the phone number, like the address, in case somebody that was watching doesn't have the information or needs to write it down. So I will make sure to add that. Also, you were talking about the Legacy Foundation.
Yes.
And I wanted to find out, I should talk to them, obviously, but they've helped out not only your organization, but quite a few in our town.
We just got a $3,000 grant from them to put ACs in our building. We had no AC. We've been only working from 9 till noon because it's been so morbid in the buildings. But they gave us a $3,000 grant to put 3 giant window heating and cooling units in. So our building.
Good job. Thank you.
And then 3 days later, we got another $5,000 grant from them to buy a truck for the shop. We've been using my old truck. It's kind of beat up. They're going to get us a good truck. So they are amazing.
Good people. Thank you, Legacy Foundation, for doing all of that for our local community here. Believe me, it is appreciated.
And it's definitely making a difference in the community.
Tell me a little bit about the food pantry, too. I wanted to talk to you about that because I noticed, thank goodness, that there can be some good that comes out of social media. Yes, I use Facebook a lot, and I put my whole life out there. But I do read Sierra Vista Gives. I am a member of Rick's group, Sahara. I see these people posting, I need help, I need this, I need that.
Yep.
People step up. And you were asking for people to assist with the food bank, and you needed food for your food pantry.
Let me tell you how amazing this is. We were just all but out of food the other day, and I put a call out. We use money from the thrift store to buy food too. Once a week, we go spend about $400 or $500, but we were a lot more outgoing than we had incoming. And I put a call out to the community that we needed some stuff, and it's just been amazing. Some people, one lady got a part of her stimulus check. She spent $600 on our pantry for groceries.
Wow.
Another one did a couple $100. It's been great.
Could you give us a list of some of the items that you need, or because I could type it in later if you need me to do that?
We pretty much do any kind of food items. We don't necessarily need a whole lot of chickpeas. We have a lot of those right now. Or diced tomatoes. We got plenty of that. But stuff we do need is any kind of canned foods, beans, corn, veggies, instant mashed potatoes, gravy, peanut butter and jelly. We probably have the best stocked food pantry in Cochise County. We actually have real meat, bacon, hamburger, stuff like that. We work with another organization called Ranchers for Hunger, and they donate some 1-pound chubs of ground beef every month.
Wow.
We also are tied in with the Salvation Army guys. Come down from Tucson once a week, and they bring us probably 15 or 20 racks of bread. And the Salvation Army here in Huachuca City works with us whenever they have their produce hands out. They give us all their leftovers. Last week it was a truck full. So we everybody working together. That's the whole idea of us being a resource alliance.
Right.
All of us working together can accomplish more than any one of us can alone.
And please correct me here if I'm wrong, but anybody that's watching this, whether you're a veteran, a dependent, civilian, it doesn't matter what your status is.
Nope.
If they need help, if they're hungry, if they're
That's
starving,
right.
They could come to you for assistance. Is that
Nobody
correct?
goes hungry around us. It doesn't matter why. You don't have to tell us what your circumstances are. Just come and get a box of food.
Right.
I had a lady come in the other day. I just got there at 9 o'clock. She was sitting in the parking lot. I walked up to her and said, "What can I do?" And she just about had tears in her eyes. And she said, "I'm 82 years old. I've never had to ask for a handout in my life.
It's hard.
I just came back from the pharmacy. What cost me $86 last month cost me $312 this month.
Wow.
Her meds had gone up that much. She said, "Can I have a box of food?" I filled her whole back seat full of food.
Yeah.
I can't tolerate that. It just makes me want to cry.
It's heartbreaking, right?
Yeah.
It gets you right
You
here.
shouldn't have to make a choice between meds and food.
Right.
Not in this country.
Nope. Tell us what items you have at the thrift store. What items do you take in to sell and items like that?
You need to come and look at this place. It's amazing, the stuff that comes through there. We get antiques, we get new stuff, we get stuff that's still in great shape. A lot of the stuff is just estate sale leftovers. This year had a lot of people pass away from whatever they're calling this thing. People don't want to do estate sales because they didn't want to be around people because of the pandemic thing going on. So they would just donate us the whole estate full of stuff. And we go get it. And clothing, we take anything but, used meds or used food, anything that's unopened and still in date. Even the out-of-date stuff we give to people with hogs and stuff like that, and they'll feed it to their animals as long as it don't make them sick. We try not to waste anything. But we get everything from, we actually had a 38-foot fifth wheel donated to us.
Oh my! Wow, that's amazing.
That's in my yard hooked up. So if somebody needs a place to be for a day or two,
right, then they can get that.
They can come and do that there. So everything from that down to we don't take used socks or underwear, and we don't do mattresses because we had a bed bug incident. We lost a whole bunch of stuff to that. We had to clean the whole store out, so we don't do mattresses. Other than that, pretty much anything. We get lots of clothing. Our prices are probably half of whatever it is at Goodwill and the other places. So, if you need
I think another great thing about you opening up your thrift store too is, if you remember, the Red Cross closed their thrift store, and a lot of people like to go to thrift stores.
And the Salvation Army closed their thrift store too.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what you meant.
It was Salvation Army. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Goodwill was closed for a while too.
Which one?
Goodwill was closed.
Goodwill?
And also
St. Vincent de Paul.
St. Vincent was closed too.
Because they did some remodeling,
right?
From what I understand.
And I have heard that since they've opened back up, their prices are almost retail. So, but our stuff's cheap. We keep it cheap so we can move a lot of stuff. We get a lot of stuff donated. We don't want to sit on it. We want it to go. So we keep all the stuff cheap enough that people can... we even get people to come from Mexico and buy truckloads of stuff from us to take back there to help them. We get excess clothing. I mean, serious amounts of excess clothing. We've given it to the big brothers, big sisters. We have a lady that works for Leslie, works for the city of Wachuca City, and she'll pick up about 10 or 15 bags once a week and take them to somewhere up in Douglas. She gives them to somebody. So we're working for everybody.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Really amazing. Is there anything else that you wanted to add here?
Well,
Because there's just so much.
yeah, right now we're gathering stuff for the comfort kits for the wildland firefighters. We also support our fire department and our police department. We did a law enforcement
Okay.
appreciation handout a couple weeks ago. We gave all the police units around here little handout bags with energy bars and free coffee, and with one of our cards stapled to them. So every one of these cop cars should have one of our cards in it now. So we do that. We also support the fire department. We're doing the wildlands firefighter kits. We have
Okay.
we take 20 cases of water. We have four departments that we work with. Two in Whetstone, the one in Sonoyta, and the one out of J6. These little units don't get a lot of support, so we try to help them. We're taking 20 cases of water, 20 cases of Gatorade, and a box full of comfort supplies. We have energy bars, energy drinks, foot powder, socks.
Okay.
Anything they use out there, suntan lotion, stuff like that. We take a couple cases of them to each of these units, and we gather this stuff up ongoing through the fire season.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but you did tell me that certain organization donated 53 cases of water. That's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water. I moved them all. Let me tell you, that's a lot of water.
And again, that's why you need able-bodied help down there,
Yes.
so you can.
Yes, I have a trashed out shoulder, and I keep working it, and it's never going to heal. And my doctor keeps telling me I need to quit this job, and I'm not going to do that. I'll work till I
No.
die. So I need some help down here moving some of this big stuff. We need some, even if it's 1 or 2 days a week. We don't have to have full time. If somebody can come and take my position 1 day a week, I can go out and do this kind of stuff.
Right.
Solicit donations and stuff like that. I've got several organizations that want me to come and do this, and I had to run away to get this one.
Okay.
Literally. So.
Well, I thank you so much,
Mhm.
Rick, for joining us. It was great to have you, and from the whole community, we just can't say thank you enough to you and to your wife and your organization down there at Zehr in Wachuca City. So thank you so
You're
much for
welcome.
joining us today.
This generous community is what makes this work. If
It
it
does.
wasn't for the community supporting us the way they do, we wouldn't be able to do this to the level we are.
Yeah, you're right. I do have a few quick announcements here. I just wanted to let you know some things that are coming up. Tonight, starting at 17:30, the Disabled American Veterans is having their chicken fried steak dinner at the VFW. I'm going to be down there. I'm going to bring my dad down there because chicken fried steak is his favorite meal. So so we'll be down there. Hopefully, I'll get to meet you down there.
Yeah.
Also, Friday, tomorrow, or you know what? I keep saying tomorrow. Today is Friday.
Today is
I don't
Friday.
know what is wrong with me. So today at 1800 hours, Team RWB is Functional Fitness will be at the Veterans Memorial Park. Again, that's today at 1800. Team RWB Functional Fitness. Also today is at 1800 is the Team RWB Full Moon Hike at the Bisbee Towers. RWB is red, white, and blue. Also, this is tomorrow, Saturday, the 26th, we have the VVSV. Okay, I got to read. VVSV group ride. They will meet at Pueblo del Sol Country Club parking lot. Again, that's 7:30 tomorrow morning. Also tomorrow, from 0900 to 1500, we have the AMVET State Conference. It's at the Warrior Healing Center at the main and front conference rooms. Also tomorrow, from 1300 to 1500 hours, we have the CLUG meeting. I had to ask Kathy, what does that mean? Because I don't know. It's the Cochise Linux Users Group. So that is at 143rd Street Tacos. Tomorrow, 1300 to 1500 hours. Also tomorrow, starting at 1700 hours, we have the Young AA Potluck meeting, which will be here at the Warrior Healing Center. On Sunday, 10 a.m. to 1500 is the AMVET State Conference again, right here at the Warrior Healing Center's main and front conference rooms. Then on Monday at 0900 to 1000 hours, we have the Marine Corps League breakfast at the Landmark Cafe. If you would like to attend that, you can call 520-456-57 I only got about 5 more to go, people, and then I'm done, okay? We have on Monday at 17:30 to 18:30, we have the S Treasures of Qigong here at the Warrior Healing Center, which Qigong is kind of like a yoga thing or some kind of fitness. Then on Wednesday at 07:30, we have the VVSV group ride, which again meets at Pueblo del Sol Country Club parking lot. The VVSV, that is Velo Vets, and it's run by, oh Lord help me, Stu Carter. Sorry, Stu. Had a blank moment there. Thursday at 1100 hours to 12:20 at the Vet Center, Veteran Women's Group Support and Processing Skills. That will be here at the Warrior Healing Center, telehealth. I'm not quite sure what that is. I'll have to get more information on that. And when I do, I'll put it down in the comment sections for you. We have the Headspace. On Thursday at 18:30, we have the Headspace and Timing PTSD Support Group at the Warrior Healing Warrior Healing Center conference room. And last, yay for me, I know you guys are on Saturday, July 3rd at 07:30, once again, we will have the Velo Vets Sierra Vista group ride that will meet at the Pueblo del Sol Country Club parking lot. And that is it. So I am Michael Zehr, Rick Hackney. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you next Friday.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it, buddy. Bye, everybody.